I grew up in an emotionally abusive family environment, which left me with low self-esteem, self-worth, and a deep lack of confidence in myself. I struggled to believe I was enough for years, constantly questioning my values and abilities. One year ago, I hit record on my very first podcast episode, not knowing how much the journey would shape me. What started as an idea to share wisdom, encouragement, and life lessons has become far more rewarding than I ever imagined. Today, I'm celebrating not just the podcast's 1-year anniversary, but also an exciting new chapter. I am thrilled to officially introduce the rebranding of Tips for Parenting Youngsters to Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate. This new name reflects the heart of my mission to provide meaningful, real-life lessons to help the caregivers of our precious children. But before we dive into what's next, let's look at the journey that brought me here. So grab your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, and let's dive into today's topic. This is Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate, where I'm dedicated to helping you grow as a person so you can bring your best self to parenting and create better family relationships. And if you're ready to invest in yourself and strengthen your relationships, hit that subscribe button. New episodes drop every Thursday. And if you're finding the podcast helpful, it would mean the world if you could take a moment to leave a review. It makes a real difference. I grew up in an emotionally abusive family environment, which left me with low self-esteem, self-worth, and a deep lack of confidence in myself. I struggled to believe I was enough for years, constantly questioning my values and abilities. I know firsthand the lasting effects of an unhealthy upbringing, and I don't want other children to go through what I did. However, generational parenting cycles continue until we break them. If we don't learn how to break those patterns, we unintentionally pass them down to the next generation. That's why I started this journey, to help others make changes that nurture confidence, emotional security, and self-worth in children. As the podcast evolved, so did my vision. My original focus was on guiding parents through challenging moments. However, this journey has expanded into a deeper reflection on life, self-discovery, and the principles we pass on to the next generation. Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate felt like the natural next step. This rebrand isn't a drastic shift. It's an evolution. It reflects the heart of what I've been sharing. Stories, lessons, and insights that help people of all ages build confidence, communicate better, and navigate life's ups and downs with resilience. This rebrand also involves uniting my work under one cohesive brand. My children's book series, Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate, and my podcast will work seamlessly together, reinforcing the same core message, empowering children and adults through valuable life lessons. Whether you're reading a book with your child or tuning into the podcast for guidance, my goal remains to provide tools and insights that help families grow together, encourage children to find their inner strength, and equip adults with the wisdom to teach these lessons through example. Here are some fun facts about the podcast. My very first podcast went live on January 18th, 2024. It was a leap of faith, and wow, what a journey it's been. 86% of my listeners are from the United States, with Canada and the United Kingdom rounding out the top 3. But the most surprising place a listener has tuned in from is Hong Kong. The first download occurred on January 27th, 2024, 9 days after launch. Yeah, I refreshed the stats way too many times while waiting for that first listener. My top 3 most listened to episodes of 2024 are How to Build a Healthy Relationship with Your Ex. Clearly, co-parenting struggles are real. Why self-discipline is the best parenting tip and skill to learn. Kids and adults need this one. And third, 3 easy tips for handling sibling rivalry. Turns out sibling drama is universal. Total downloads for 2024? 584. It's not about the numbers. It's about the impact. And I am beyond grateful for every single listen. Apple Podcast is where most of you tune in. So if you're an Apple listener, hit that follow button. Coolest moment. A listener loved my episode on forgiveness so much that they invited me to be a guest on their podcast. Proof that putting yourself out there can open unexpected doors. A fun behind-the-scene fact. When I first started, I added background music because I was too afraid of the silence and insecure about my own voice. The thought of my words just floating in empty space felt terrifying. But a few months ago, I stopped using background music. Somewhere along the way, I found the confidence to let my voice stand on its own. A year of podcasting has reinforced many life lessons, but 3 have stood out as transformative for me. Growth happens when we step outside our comfort zones. For years, I let fear hold me back. I told myself I wasn't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But when I finally said, enough is enough, I started doing the opposite of what I had always done. If I always went right, I started going left. I made choices that pushed me out of my comfort zone, and that's when everything changed. Growth isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking imperfect action, even when it's uncomfortable. When we challenge ourselves to try something new, we prove to ourselves that we are stronger than our doubts. What's something you've been hesitant to try? What small step could you take today to move forward? Lesson number 2. Boundaries and self-worth go hand in hand. I struggled to say no for much of my life, believing that giving to others defined my worth. But I've learned that setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about teaching others how to treat me and valuing myself enough to protect my time and energy. We teach our children to do the same by modeling healthy boundaries. They learn that their needs matter, their feelings are important, and they don't have to sacrifice their well-being to please others. Teaching boundaries isn't just about protecting ourselves. It's about breaking unhealthy generational cycles and giving our children the confidence to stand up for themselves. And thirdly, consistency creates stability and confidence. For a long time, I did things out of habit that worked, but stopped because my self-talk told me they were boring. And if something was boring, then I must be boring, right? But I've learned that boring is good. It helps with decision fatigue and creates stability. That's why now I eat the same breakfast every day, wear a limited wardrobe of clothes I love, and plan weekly meals that repeat on the same day every week. These small, consistent habits have freed up my energy for what truly matters. Successful people understand this. Consistency eliminates unnecessary stress and helps us focus on what's truly important. By simplifying our routines, we can spend less time making small decisions and more time living purposefully. Persistence is the key to lasting change. If there's one thing I've learned over the past year, it's that persistence is everything. Growth doesn't happen overnight. Building confidence takes time and consistent effort. And success, however we define it, comes from showing up even when we don't feel like it. There were moments when I wondered if my podcast was making a difference, when downloads were slow, when I stumbled over my words, and when I questioned whether anyone was really listening. But I kept going. Not because it was easy, but because I believed in the message. Persistence isn't about perfection. It's about choosing to keep going, even when progress feels invisible. It's about taking one more step when self-doubt creeps in. It's about understanding that every episode, blog post, and conversation matters, even if we can't always see the impact immediately. If you've ever felt like giving up on a dream, a goal, or even a tiny change in your life, remember this. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who refuse to quit. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who refuse to quit. So ask yourself, where in your life do you need more persistence? What's one thing you can commit to, even when it feels hard? Every time we persevere, we strengthen our resilience and the example we set for those around us. That's the real power of persistence. Change can feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. But just as this podcast has evolved, we all have the opportunity to reflect, grow, and become stronger version of ourselves. Think of a lighthouse standing tall on the shore. It doesn't chase after the ships or demand they follow its guidance. It simply shines its light. Steady, unwavering, and reliable. And in doing so, it helps sailors navigate safely through rough waters. We are all lighthouses in our own way. People, our children, families, friends are always watching us, whether we realize it or not. They see how we handle challenges, respond to setbacks, and treat ourselves when we make mistakes. Our actions speak louder than words, and how we live our lives become the light that guides others. But here's the truth. Lighthouses aren't perfect. Their paint may chip, their beams may flicker, and sometimes storms crash against them, making it hard to shine. And that's okay, because mistakes don't define us. They are simply moments of learning, opportunities to adjust, repair, and keep shining. The more mistakes we make And the more we use them as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, the more we thrive. Growth isn't about getting everything right the first time. It's about having the courage to keep learning, adjusting, and moving forward. When you commit to personal growth and keep shining, even through the storms, you inspire others to do the same. And that's how real change begins. One of my biggest focuses moving forward is building my YouTube channel. Here, you can listen to podcast episodes, watch book trailers, and see other engaging videos that bring these life lessons to life. If you haven't already done so, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel and join this growing community. And if you've been listening to my podcast, don't worry, you can still find it on your usual platform. The only change is the name. The podcast now appears as Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate. Everything else stays the same so that you won't miss a thing. Thank you for being part of this journey. Here's to another year of learning, growing, and teaching lessons for life with Gramma Kate. Thank you, listeners, for embarking on this journey with me today. Your time and attention are precious, and I am genuinely grateful that you chose to spend them with the Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate podcast. Your support and engagement mean the world to me. Parenting is full of challenges, but remember, the most profound change starts within us. Be the role model your children look up to. They always watch and learn from us. Visit lessonsforlifewithgrammakate.com for a wealth of free practical resources. The website is designed to support you and your family in everyday parenting challenges, from tips on self-discipline and positive affirmations to various other valuable topics. Also available on the website are links to purchase my children's books in a series called Lessons for Life with Gramma Kate. Follow along as Lily, her brother Zach, and their friends, guided by Gramma Kate, discover their inner magic of self-esteem and confidence through creative activities and heartfelt lessons. Gramma Kate empowers each of them to face life's challenges with courage and joy. There is always time to rewrite your family's story. Break free from patterns that no longer serve you and create a home filled with love, understanding, and unwavering support. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. As I conclude this episode, I must state that this podcast is designed solely for educational and entertainment purposes. While I bring my experience as a parent and grandparent, it's essential that you know I am not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not a substitute for professional advice from a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. Got it? Awesome. Until next time, what is one thing you are grateful for?